Hello and welcome to Great Hang, the greatest hang that's ever hanged. I'm your hang, Tim McLaughlin, coming to you with your other hang. No one else? Another solo pod from the kid? Gang, I had it all set up. I had a sweet friend of the show, Tommy McNamara. He was supposed to come and fill in for Myka Fox this week, but he ended up having to work, and I said, Tommy, go make your money. Don't come just to this and miss out on what could possibly be $85. So I told Tommy to go make his money. Hopefully, he made a good amount of money on the night that he had to work. And our good friend Ari Findling was supposed to be the guest, my boss at the game show place, Ari Findling. But it turns out someone died and he had to go to a funeral, and you can't be mad at anyone for having to go to a funeral. So Ari was out, Tommy was out, and it just left Tim. And now Tim is here. I hit up a bunch of people last minute to see if they could make it, and they could not. So it's just me today. It's just me. And I know what everyone's thinking. Tim, if it's just you, are we going to get your take on the Tony Hinchcliffe situation? Are you going to be one of the comedians that gives his take for the 1 millionth time? And yeah, I'll give you my take. I thought it was dumb. I thought it was a dumb move. I don't think what he does is funny, and I think that the show is making what I think. So I already have a problem with Kill Tony anyways, because I think it's going to create like a dirge. So a lot of people who go see comedy are going to see comedy for the first time when they go see like some of these guys that are like famous from Kill Tony. And a lot of the guys that are famous from Kill Tony are maybe like okay middles at best, but now they're headlining doing 45 minutes, and it can create, and then people will go see that show and they'll be like, stand-up comedy is actually bad. I didn't know that a person can only be funny for 1 minute, and they need now for 45 minutes. It sucks. The first minute was good, but the other 44 were bad. So that can create it can do what happened in the 90s where stand-up comedy blew up. There was stand-up comedy everywhere. People on The Tonight Show were getting headlining spots all over the country, but people on The Tonight Show were only preparing that 5 minutes for The Tonight Show, and then they had to go and do 45 minutes on the road, and then they would bomb. So I think that a little bit of that could possibly happen soon, but maybe not because of social media and just the way that today is. But I thought Tony doing racist jokes during a presidential rally was probably not the best move for a president who's already getting called racist and who's getting called alt-right, and a base that's already being called Nazis. So I don't think having a guy up there saying racist jokes, and listen, they're jokes. I get it. I don't really care personally if you say racist stuff. I don't give a fuck. But I will say what my mom and dad have told me. There is a time and a place, and I don't think a presidential rally is the time or place to say that Puerto Rico is a floating island of garbage. So I would say if that's the line, we're not at a comedy club. And also I heard he had been doing those jokes at comedy clubs and they were bombing. So that is also funny. It's also funny that I had heard that at a comedy club, he had said, don't worry, they'll get a better reaction. And then they didn't. People still groaned because it's still basically the same people. But that's on Trump and Trump's people for having a roast comic come and, roast people, and he knew what he was doing. That's what they brought him in there to do, and he did it. And so, if you're gonna get a guy who's gone on a racist tirade before to be at your presidential rally, maybe you should say, hey, please no racism this time. Just keep it purely political. But that's my take. I thought it was stupid. I thought it sucked. I thought it wasn't really that funny. I thought the jokes were pretty fucking hacky, to be quite honest. So if that's what he wants to do, if he wants to do wacky, if he wants to do wacky, crazy, racist humor, if he wants to do hacky, racist stuff on the road, in a comedy club, do whatever you want. Just, I'd say keep it out of presidential rallies. But hey, maybe this will keep comedians from doing presidential rallies in the future, because there really isn't anything more embarrassing for a comedian than to care. Like, caring is so lame. Caring about anything is so lame. And I really only care about one thing, and that's my man Satan. We all know that I love Satan, but I really don't care about anything. I do want I'm a single issue voter. I believe in women's right to choose because I am an ally, and that is really all that's really all I want. And the only woman I believe in to have a right is for Myka to choose to stay with me. And hopefully she'll be back soon. Our life has been falling apart here. Toe is up sleeping now because she kept us awake all night for the last 2 nights because Myka's not home to snuggle with her. And she just walks around the bed screaming in my damn face like a freaking jerk. Anyway, we're not getting into it. Toe is a cute sweetie. It is almost Halloween. And let's get into what we've got for today. We're going to do, listen, it's just me. I figure what's a fun thing that Myka likes to bring on the podcast is hot takes. What I've looked at a couple Am I the Assholes. I've got a couple Am I the Assholes pulled up. We'll go over these Am I the Assholes. This will probably be a shorter episode. I got to lean forward real quick. This will probably be a shorter episode. I'm sorry if it is, but we'll go over some Am I the Assholes. We'll go over some comments. And if you are watching this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. But that's my take on Tony Hinchcliffe. I thought it was dumb. I thought it sucked. And I just didn't think it was the time or the place for him to be making jokes about blacks and Puerto Ricans. I said it. If your base is already getting called racist, don't bring a racist guy. So make the jokes all you want at comedy clubs. I don't give a shit about that, but here we go. Let's get into it. I can't be throwing stones about racist jokes. I can tell you that right now. So I say make the jokes, but just make them at the right spots. All right, here we go. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for refusing my sister's kids to stay with us after she canceled on me last minute? I don't know how old your sister's kids are, and if they need a place to stay and you're the only person that can give them a place to stay, I would say, I guess. But if your sister can also afford a hotel and she canceled on you last minute, I don't know how petty this is. Let's get into it. We'll find out. If it's as petty as it can possibly be, I'd say for family, you got to let your pettiness slide a little bit. I know some people disagree with that and they want to be as petty as they can with their family. And I do like that when I am on the outside looking in. I like family fights. If I'm like a guest at someone's house and they're like, family is fighting, I love to just sit there and watch that. But as a person, I try not to get into it with my family too much. My family pretty much gets along, so that's not too big a deal. So this person is 29 male. Their sister, 32 female, has 3 kids, 10, 7, and 5. Last month, she asked if I could watch them for a weekend while she and her husband went on a short anniversary trip. I agreed because I love my nieces and nephew, but I made it clear that I needed at least 2 weeks' notice because I work long hours and I'd have to rearrange my schedule. All right, that seems fine. I mean, if you need extra time for your schedule, I get that. Personally, my brother could be like, "Hey, I need you to watch your niece and nephew." Tomorrow, I'd be like, no schedule rearranging needed. Send them on over. Put them on a plane. Send them to New York. Fast forward to this past week. I asked my boss for time off, cleared my weekend, and stocked my house with everything kids would need. Friday afternoon rolls around, and I'm waiting for her to drop them off. Suddenly, I get a text saying that they're not coming. She decided last minute that they were going to do a family-friendly resort instead and didn't need me to watch them anymore. No apologies. Just we'll do it another time. Well, I like that we'll do it another time as if it's an honor for the uncle to take care of the kids. It's not like, we'll do it another time. Like, sorry, I know you asked. The guy didn't ask for the niece and nephew to come over. I was frustrated because I had completely cleared my weekend. Brother, party. Now it's time to party, baby. You cleared your weekend. Now it's party time. Turn down plans with friends. Get back on it. And rearrange my work schedule for this. I responded by telling her that it wasn't cool to cancel on me last minute like that, especially when I went out of my way to help. And that is true, and I'm glad. I just realized my belt was undone. I'm going to redo that real quick. I'm glad that you stuck up for yourself there. And really, I feel like that's all you can do. Then 2 days later, she called asking if I could watch the kids the following weekend. So that's tough because she wanted you to watch them. You cleared your schedule for one weekend, then the next weekend she's like, "Hey, will you watch them now?" Bro, I don't think you're an asshole. Apparently something came up with her original plan and she needed someone to watch them after all. I told her no, I wasn't available. She got upset and said I was being selfish and punishing her kids for something that wasn't their fault. Now she's mad at me and my parents are saying I should be more understanding because things come up when you're a parent. Yeah, I get that, but also the guy works on the weekend, it sounds like. It sounds like he's not available. It sounds like he told you he needs 2 weeks' notice so that he can do these things. I guess if her parents have that big of a problem with it, why don't the parents take care of it? I don't have kids, but I feel like it's just basic respect not to cancel on someone last minute and then expect them to be available whenever you want. So am I the asshole for refusing to watch my sister's kids after she canceled on me last minute? I say no, personally. I don't think you're an asshole. I think you're fine for doing what you did. You told her you needed advanced time to schedule things out. She didn't give it to you. Then she canceled. Then you made plans. That's on her, brother. I know people want you to bend over backwards for your family at all times, but there's only so much you can do, really. As if you did all you can and then you got effed, then you got effed. That's just how it goes, bro. You just got freaking effed. So I don't think your sister should be mad at you. Let's see. There's an edit here. Let's see what he says. Wow, I didn't expect so many responses. Thanks, everyone. I was starting to feel guilty about standing my ground, but it's good to hear that others agree. It's important to set boundaries, even with family. I love my nieces and nephew, but this time is valuable too, and I'm glad that I'm not being unreasonable here. Thanks again for all the support. Now, you could also look into it. Are a bunch of people on Reddit sad, childless losers that feel like they have a right to their own time and are giving you bad information? I don't know personally. That is a theory I have come up with based on comments I've gotten on my stand-up that I have posted on Reddit. Rude comments, of course. Like, why is this up here? Why would he ever post this? Why would he say this out loud? Whoever thought this was funny? I can't believe the audience actually is laughing. You know, things that childless losers will say. And as a childless loser, I just gave the same advice. So I am a loser. I am childless. I am selfish with my own time. So we'll see. We'll see. Let's get into our next one. I think we've done it for that one. I think that one was good. Sound off in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube. Of course, like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Comment down below what you think on these different Am I the Assholes? And we'll go over it next week with Myka and our guest. And next week we'll be doing our special Election Day prognostication. I don't fucking know. We won't be doing shit, probably. Trump will probably win and Myka will be upset. Am I the asshole for taking back a family heirloom from my daughter-in-law before the wedding? So this person says in big letters, I won't respond to repeat questions. Check the comments. Okay, damn. First of all, saying I won't respond to repeat questions, check the comments. You're already in the asshole category to me. Just don't do that. You don't need to write that you're not going to do it. Just don't do it. Who cares? All right, here we go. So I'm already on the side of they are an asshole. That's where I'm on the side right now. Just based on I won't respond to repeat questions, check the comments. Bitch, fuck you. For real. All right. My family has 2 heirlooms. 2, poor ass bitch family. My family's chock full of heirlooms. We're like the goddamn royal family with how many heirlooms we have. Oh, these heirlooms, and they're all racial. It's all Sambo stuff that my mom has bought over the years. And when black people come to the house, it is awkward sometimes because they say, why do you own these things? And I said, I don't actually own them. And they are worth a lot of money. So my family has 2 heirlooms that we give to a bride or groom when they marry. For the men, it's a set of cufflinks. And for the women, it's a bracelet. How many of these do you have? Do you just have like a Marge ball of like pearls that you give the kids? That you give the betrothed fucking kids. My oldest son and oldest sister are married. Oh, I hope not together. And their spouses wore bracelets or cufflinks at their wedding. This tradition essentially our family's way of saying we're accepting you into the family. Oh, wow. Why don't you just say that? Just be like, here, we accept you into the family. But here's a bracelet instead of words. When my future daughter-in-law got engaged, I gave her the bracelet and explained that it's a family heirloom, expressing how meaningful it would be if she wore it at the wedding. I mentioned that she could wear it during the reception if she preferred not to wear it in the ceremony. It's a white jade bracelet, and I shared its significance with her. Oh, cool. Oh, here's my white jade bracelet. Will you wear this? Because our family values stuff. We love stuff. We love things. Now, with the wedding only a few months away, there's a problem. My daughter has been getting to know my future daughter-in-law, and she recently came to me saying that my future daughter-in-law thinks that the bracelet is ugly and has been complaining about it. This is an episode of The Simpsons where Lisa gets married to the British guy and Homer gives him the pig cufflinks, and he won't wear the pig cufflinks because he thinks they're ugly. Hugh, I think Hugh Grant played him, but it was Hugh. She even showed me texts where my future daughter-in-law said some hurtful things about me, calling me a controlling ass for giving her the bracelet. That's funny. And also, your daughter's a snitch, bruh. You got a snitch daughter. How the fuck? So first of all, you a bitch for real. You raised a damn snitch. Your daughter-in-law thinks that she's just being honest with your daughter, who she thinks is her friend. Bad mistake. You probably are a controlling ass based on your I'm not responding to repeat comments thing. I'm with the daughter-in-law still here. I'm still with the daughter-in-law here. And you know I can't abide by snitches. So it's fucked up that you got snitched on, like your own daughter snitched on your daughter-in-law, which is fucking wild, dude. This was hurt. This was hurt. This was hurt, and it feels like a complete rejection, especially since she knows why it's important. When I asked my son, he said he didn't know anything about her feelings on this. Of course he did. He's a man, baby. He's not going to put himself in the middle of this. If my mom was like, here's a necklace for you to give Myka on your wedding day for Myka to wear, and Myka would told me, she goes, this necklace is ugly as fuck. And she was messaging my sister-in-law and was like, yo, did you wear this fucking ugly ass necklace? And my sister-in-law snitched on Myka, and my mom came up to me and was like, hey, do you know anything about this? I'd be like, absolutely fucking not. I don't know shit about this. I can't believe she would say such things, when in my heart I knew she would. I knew she would think it's ugly, and then I'd have to go to Myka and be like, yo, just wear the damn thing, bruh. Quit making trouble for me. So, but that would never happen. Myka knows that to just wear the shit, and it's only for one day, and it doesn't matter. Plus, we don't give a fuck about getting married anyways. All I'll do is fuck Myka up financially. She doesn't need that. She doesn't need me dragging down her finances. Especially since she knows how it's important. When I asked my son, he said he didn't know. Since she clearly doesn't want or respect the bracelet, I asked for it back. That's when things got messy. Of course, dumbass. You did it so that things would get messy. You want the drama. You're acting like you don't want the drama, but if you didn't want the drama, you would have just held this in and not said anything about it and just let it go. She made a big deal about how I was excluding her from her family and taking it back. Yes, that's true. You are being a jerk. Here's the thing. She fucked up. She fucked up by trusting your daughter. Your daughter shouldn't have snitched. Your daughter's a bitch. You a bitch. This lady is also a bitch, but she didn't think that this would get back to you. So here's the thing. Now she's pissed, calling me a jerk. You are a jerk. My son also thinks I'm a jerk for taking it back. Absolutely. Even after I showed him what she said, people are divided over this, saying that by taking it back, it implies I don't see her as family or trust her with the heirloom. That's true. And that is true. But she should have sucked it up and just worn it. Your daughter shouldn't have snitched on her. I think that it's all a big messy situation. It's your daughter's fault. Everyone should be mad at your daughter for snitching. If I was I would be bringing that up if I was in the family. I'd be like, this is blah, blah, blah's fault. She's a fucking snitch. Fuck this bitch. Snitches get stitches, and I stab her ass with one of my heirlooms. Heirloom knife, baby. I go, how's this, you heirloom? I'll slice you open like an heirloom tomato, I'll say to her. Anyways, funny shit from me today. I'm fucking on. I haven't talked to really anyone but my friend Irene today about making a resume. Irene helped me make a resume. So shout out to friend of the show, Irene Morales. Everyone follow Irene and give Irene a shout out for helping me make a resume. She really fucking put some time in and helped me out. So she's the best. Give it up for Irene, everybody. Okay, last one. We're here in about, 20 minutes. Not too bad. I'm starting to lose my voice, though, because I hosted a game show right before this. And I was really on I guess I talked to people during the game show, but I was basically just being like, oh, hello, corporate team building, and it is me, Tim McLaughlin. What's your favorite candy? Happy Halloween, ghouls and gals. Am I the asshole for pretending to get fired when customers get a temper with me? Yeah. I forgot about this one. I remember reading this and being like, let's fucking go. So what it sounds like, I haven't read this, but what it sounds like is this person sucks at their job. And when people get mad at them, they pretend like they got fired to make the people feel bad. And that is so sick. That is like the coolest shit you could possibly do. So let's see. I am a high schooler with a weekend job at a coffee shop. My coworkers who work weekends are James, the owner's son, who goes to my school. He's a shift manager, but it's not a real formal thing. He's a friendly guy. Oh, well, that's good. I like this. We're getting lore and backstory on all the characters. Danielle, a college student who sometimes works weekends too. Sometimes, but not always. So sometimes customers will come in and just be angry about such little stuff. That's because you're talking to them before they've had their freaking coffee. You got to remember, when you're working at a coffee shop, these people, sometimes they're getting coffee for the first time. Not everyone wakes up like I do. I wake up every morning bright and happy, bushy-tailed. I say, good morning, beautiful. Every morning I say, good morning, beautiful to Myka. And then I say, good morning, house. Good morning, world. And I say, good morning, little Toey. And I go give Myka a kiss. I give little Toey a kiss. And that's how I start my day every day. And I'm not fucking around. That's how I legitimately do it. Unless I'm very hungover. Then I start it like this. Good morning, beautiful. Good morning. And then I try to die. That's when I try to die. All right, let's see. Literally blew up about nothing. I don't know if they're in a bad mood already and looking for someone to take it out on or what, but it's a lot. Like, how sad. So you have to be a grown-ass man taking your anger out on a high school and college kids? Okay. All right, this person already has a lot of attitude, and I have a feeling it's just like not really a great worker and doesn't see anything really as their fault. So it's already everyone else's fault, which I don't like. I don't like that, but I do like the way they go about it. So I do like that. Let's see what else we got. So James and I were joking about having a little fun with them and hopefully getting them off our back. So one day I was at work and some guy was having a temper about how we don't make the coffee hot enough. Damn, my shit's got to be cold, baby. Give me that cold coffee. Also, we don't make the hot coffee hot enough. What the hell? I guess that's a thing. I didn't know that. I didn't know people need the coffee to melt their mouths. I didn't know that, which I couldn't do a thing about because I gave it to him right out of the machine. So James came in and was like, "Sir, is there a problem?" And the guy started ranting to him, and so he was like, "Oh, this is unacceptable. You're fired." And I started acting real sad, like, "No, please don't fire me. My family needs money." Yes. And I need this job, please. And he played up being a hard ass, telling me to take off my apron and leave. You got a hand in your badge and gun, baby. You're out of the coffee business. I love this shit. This is awesome. This sounds like some shit we used to do at the Sharper Image, except what we would do at Sharper Image was get drunk in the back and then see who could sell the most massage chairs. And Mello always won. I lost. Mello was good at selling the massage chairs. I always lost because I didn't give a fuck. But I have told the story, I think, when I was on Valium working at the Sharper Image, and we had a clock, an alarm clock, that showed the time. It showed the time on the ceiling, so it had like a little laser. And this guy goes, "So how does this work?" And I go, "It works great, man." And he goes, "No, like, how do you work it?" And I go, "I have no idea." And then I just went to the back and took a nap. So the angry guard started to backtrack like, "No, it isn't that big of a problem. You don't need to fire her over it. I didn't mean it." And James was like, "No, we pride ourselves on the best customer service." Of course, after all that drama, I still had my job. We were just acting. And we've done it a couple times. Whenever the customers will lose their temper at Danielle or I, James will storm in and fire us. And almost every time the person had come in angry will apologize and say that they didn't mean it. It's kind of satisfying making people realize their actions might have actual consequences. Anyways, I was telling my friends at school about this, a few of them thought it was a mean prank to let someone go away thinking they'd gotten someone fired who desperately needs the money. Yeah, it is mean, but also fuck them, dude. Fuck them for real. Don't be shitty. Just be nice. Like, you don't need to be shitty to people that are working for you. Hold on one second. Sorry, my voice is going. You don't need to be shitty to people that are working for you. You don't need to be shitty to people working customer service, people working service industry jobs. Don't be shitty to them. Those jobs suck. They got to get up early. They got to deal with your fucking cranky ass. Just deal with it. Give them their money and drink your shit. If your shit's fucked up, go about it in a nice way. Be like, "Oh, Jesus, my hand just stopped working." Go about it in a nice way. Be like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I ordered it this way. You gave it to me that way. I'm sure it was just a little mix-up. I'm wondering if I could get it fixed." Blah, blah, blah. It's that fucking easy. But just be nice, you know? It's not hard to just be nice. And I'm not even that nice. I'm not a fucking nice guy. I'm kind of fucking rude as fuck. So, and that's coming from me. All right, gang. That was the early part. That was the beginning part of the show. I guess now we're in the middle. I could do plugs. I don't really have anything coming up, so just follow me at hot_comics69. I guess I'll plug the YouTube page. Like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and we're getting to it. Reviews for the podcast. And this is where I go on Apple iTunes and read your 5-star reviews. There are no 5-star reviews on Apple. I forgot to check Spotify today. I am so sorry about that. But we do have, and we're not doing the news today because I don't have anyone here to really annoy to do the news. It's only fun when Myka gets fucking pissed. So let's just read the comments. Let's see what we've got on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment. We've got Deerbrank. Is that how Deerbrank? Durbrand K. Dairy Brand K. Okay. Rob is with a weird expression on his face. Yes. He is. He does make strange expressions. I think that's the Afghani part of him. Gavin Stubing says, wondering if Tim will be a guest starring on Myka's OnlyFans, a special guest episode of the Great Hung podcast. It would not be called that, number one. And number two, I think if she wants to make any money on OnlyFans at all, I will stay off of it. I don't think anybody wants a fat, out of shape guy with like no hog on their OnlyFans. I think that's like for literally no one. I think that's for no one. So I don't know, but let us know. I mean, I'd do it. Whatever. I got nothing to do. Wilfred Padoa's number one fan says, The incident at Myka's house they can't discuss was Josh showing up in a white Jeep and Myka having to roll around and back. I don't even know what that means. Speaking of Myka starting an OnlyFans account, as we say in Ireland, what a glorious day. What a glorious day. Greetings from Dublin, Ireland, as in Dublin my cock, over the nice and supportive comments for Robbie. Shout out to Edna Krabapley on the rap comments, who always sends love to Robbie out of all the other comments, telling Robbie to of himself. To F himself? I don't know. I believe he's the sole reason Robbie hasn't gone over the edge. Well, that's good. Edna Krabappel, good job. D. Beard says, Rodney Goodwin makes Mike Figs look like Louis C.K. I don't know what any of that means. I know who all of those people are, but I just don't understand it. I wish I did, and I'm sure it's funny, but I don't get it at all. Nick Spangler says, normally I'd find it a bit pretentious to self-assign the moniker of being great hangs, but you guys really do seem like great hangs. More people gotta watch the pod. The Goo Gang sounds much less weird once it reaches critical mass. That's true. And we really are great hangs. We were at a party. We've told this story on the show before. We were at a party where the drummer for the Strokes asked if we were hired to be there as a couple to be fun. Like, they asked if we were hired to make the party more fun. So that was pretty cool. Found out later it was the drummer of the Strokes. There was another guy in there from Hamilton. No one told me who these people were. I think because they knew I was going to ask them for free tickets to things. But that's all right. Berserk for Souls. Hold on. I got to get another drink here. God, I really got to wet my whistle. Man, I really say some wild shit when I don't have anyone here to stop me from being a fucking dumbass. Berserk for Souls. Okay, you guys found out my ruse. I wrote those comments as a ploy to play Elden Ring with Tim. Just wanted to sound cooler by offering to plow Myka 6 ways from Sunday. Peace and love. Peace and love to you, Berserk for Souls. LJ1 says, hearing Tim fucks with Crack Amico. This emoji, salute emoji. Fuck yeah, we're Crack Amico stans. We love Crack Amico on this pod. Nobody in the rap game is doing it better than Crack Amico at the moment. Daryl401 says, Robbie, proving minds left and right. I don't know what that means. I'm kind of out of it. I don't really watch or listen to any other podcasts except for Last Podcast on the Left. And, what's it called? Tell Him Steve, Dave. Those are like the only two I listen to. So sorry. And I listen to Doughboys sometimes. So sorry if I don't get a couple of these references. G. Bresto says, Tim is less kowtow and more cowtail. Let's go, baby. Moo moo, brother. 9185 Productions says, this takes me back to my youth, when busting came easy. These days busts are few and far between, but one surefire bust is the bust I get from this podcast. Need a Gatorade. Hydrate, baby. Get yourself hydrated. You don't want it to come out like boogers. All right. Justice Reed says, put that backside on OF and submit Tim's place as a kept man. This is what I'm talking about. Let's make so much money that I don't need to be getting on about having to work. I don't need that anymore. I need to be a kept man. I'm a good man. I've taken care of the cat very well the last couple of days, except for the fact that she's kept us up all night, and I am now tired as fuck. Alan Thickdick, hilarious guest. Get Robbie the Fire next time. I don't know who Robbie the Fire is, but I will do my best. Wizard Adam, good win, good or bust. Great hang. And moist and water emoji, busting emoji. Alex says, what an amazing crossover. Robbie rules as usual, big star. Timberto, here's an idea. Add a Patreon tier so people could pay you to read their play on the show. That is a good idea. I mean, if you want to write, I mean, for real though, if you want to write a play, if you just sign up for the regular Patreon, if you sign up for the regular Patreon at $5 a month and you send me a play, I will read it on the show. But don't put anything too offensive in there. I guess I'll read it ahead of time and change it if it does. But if you do, yeah, that's a good idea. But I don't need another tier for that. Just sign up for the Patreon at patreon.com/greathang. If you sign up for the $5 a month tier, you can send us our play, send as many plays as you want, and I'll read the plays. I'll read whatever play you want on the show. So just sign up for the regular Patreon at patreon.com/greathang. I'm sure Mike is going to be pissed at me for doing that and not making a different tier, but whatever, fuck her, she's not here. I have to do this alone again. So that's what happens when I do this alone. The poor decisions get made. Oh, gang. I'll get back into the comments, but let me tell you about poor decisions. So I had shows this weekend. I had shows at Flophouse Comedy Club. And this weekend was Halloween weekend here in the city of New York. The comedy clubs were barren. The streets were littered with fucking assholes dressed like dickheads. And my beloved Pacers were playing the foul and disgusting New York Knicks Friday night. But I had shows Friday night. And my friend Steve, who works for SNL, hits me up and he says, "Hey, I have tickets to the game. Would you like to go?" And I said to Steve, "No, Steve, I wish I could, but I already have commitments to the shows. I would love to go, but I can't." Not realizing that thinking that it was just like, I wasn't thinking of the kind of tickets he was getting. Turns out he was getting SNL NBC Universal tickets where he was in the middle of the court, 4 rows up. Courtside, 4-row up seats. And as I'm getting on the train to go to my shows, I get a message saying, "Hey, we may have to cancel because of light ticket sales." And I wanted to put a blank in my mouth. We can't say that on YouTube. You can't talk about doing that, but I wanted to absolutely blow my blanks out. And I've never made the right decision in my life. I might have to take the George Costanza method and just go the opposite. I may just have to opposite it up, because what I should have said was, "Sorry, hey, I'm sick. I can't make it to the shows tonight," and then post a bunch of pictures of how I'm courtside at the Pacers-Knicks game. Now, the Pacers did lose by 30, but it still would have been so awesome to sit courtside at the Garden. I've done it once before. Shout out to former guest Chris Scopo. We had tickets 5 rows up with also former guest JP McDade, and JP snatched a t-shirt out of the air, and it was awesome. You get to go through a part of MSG that's like only for rich people. There's like several cars. It's like Lexus has just driven cars into MSG. It's pretty cool. So that was sick, and I was mad I didn't get to go, but let's get back into the comments. New Jersey Greg says, "Myka, OnlyFans page, new website, Doritos ads. Damn, you're crushing it. I would love to see you and Tim come back to New Jersey to the dojo of comedy." I'll hit them up. I'll see if I can get us out there. That would be sick. If we could get out there, I would love to do it. So New Jersey Greg, I'll tell him I could sell at least 1 ticket if we do the dojo. Maybe that'll get us in. And Morton Leo says, "The Niles joke from Tim was brilliant on so many levels." That's right, it was. And I wish Myka was here to hear you say that. Because here's the thing. I work on such a higher level than anyone ever expects at all times. And no one ever thinks that I'm purposefully making these jokes. They think I accidentally backed into it. Yeah, I don't think so. Your boy's a fucking genius. So thanks, Morton Leo. I appreciate that. Total Fuzz says, "Tim, never stop with the news. How else would we know what to stay up to date with in current events? Hashtag long live the goo." Well, I'm only not doing the news this week. I guess I did a little bit of news with the Tony Hinchcliffe stuff. And also, dude, here's the thing. I don't care where you land politically. I really don't. I could give a fuck. You vote for whatever you want, believe in whatever you want. But if you really think that Tucker Carlson is like not talking down to you and is like a good guy, You're the dumbest motherfucker on the planet. Every time I listen to that, the way he laughs makes me want to punch him in the fucking face. The way he talks like he's better than everyone, he's such a smarmy bitch. My main thing is I fucking hate that dude. I hate that dude so fucking much. Anyway, that's my one thing. If it divides you, I'm sorry, but I really don't give a fuck about anything else except for I want to punch Tucker Carlson. Sean from Pittsburgh says, hell yeah, Robbie is now officially in the hashtag Goo Gang. And Hughzon says, I'm about to create an OnlyFans account. Hashtag Goo Gang. So, gang, Goo Gang. I appreciate you all writing in. Thank you all very much. We couldn't do it without you. We really do appreciate all the fans. I know Myka acts like she's above all of this and doesn't even want to be here for some of the shows, but I love you all and you guys make it all worth it for me. And I love reading the comments every week. So thank you all so much. And yeah, if you want to write your own play, fucking put it on wax. Get on the Patreon at patreon.com/greathang and I'll read them. I forgot to look up a dead person for this week. Let's look up. Oh, okay. Here we go. Now it's time for a little thing called Speaking Ill of the Dead. I'm going to speak ill of Pat Nixon, Richard Nixon's damn wife. Your husband was busted, bitch. I wonder. And you ain't no looker yourself, you ugly hoe. You got fucking old-ass lady hair, you dumb, surly bitch. I hope that you're in hell getting butt-fucked by the devil while he's rummaging around through a damn desk. You stand by it. You stood by a man after he committed a crime against this country. You a fucking bitch for real. Fuck you. You busted. And Richard Nixon also busted. Anyways, fuck you, Pat Nixon. I hope you're in hell getting butt-fucked by the damn devil, of course. And you know what? 40-minute show, I think, is pretty good going solo. I appreciate all of you. Thank you all very much for watching. And all I have to do now is my sign-off. Signing off, it is I, the greatest man who has ever lived. A man who is without compare, a sweet boy, a sweeter man, a candy man. Happy Halloween, everyone. Timothy Grady McLaughlin II. I hope you guys all have a great rest of the day. Bye.